Vivi, emotionally, I want to believe in God. And let me just say, I now believe in God, but I have all these different traditions that feed me what this God is like. So I come to you to ask about the Hindu tradition and about the differences with other traditions, the Universalism and the Particularism. It's very confusing for me.
Well, the Universalism and Particularism have been there all through history, it seems to me, in that all the religions have certain fundamental things in common, such as belief in a God or a supernatural principle, such as a longing to connect with the cosmos. And there are things like that which are common. But they become particularized through, strangely enough, the voices and the visions of the prophets and the rishis who have given rise to the great religions. And therefore, their particular mode of prescribing ways have, in a way, splintered this religious quest into different, what may be called historical, cultural, geographical paths. And these have had tremendously powerful impacts on all the great civilizations of the world. And our challenge is therefore not so much to find out which of these is the correct path as to see how we can coexist in a world of multiplicity. And here I think the Hindu vision has something interesting and indeed very useful to offer, and that is a quote from the Vedas says that there is but one truth, one God. The words are synonymous in Sanskrit. And that God is described by different names, by different people. Ekam Sat Viprat Bahuta Vadanti. And that is that script for there is only one God is enormously important. One could also say there is only one God and that is my God. And that kind of a subscript can lead to the kinds of religious confrontations that we often find all through history.
I am very much against religious confrontation, to be sure, but frankly, that's not my quest. My quest is for reality. And if it turns out that one tradition, your tradition, is the right tradition, I want to follow that one.
It is very difficult to speak of the right path in the religious context, it seems to me, because religion is a quest for self-fulfillment. Inherent in the Hindu tradition, and for me that is the best part of it, are two things. One is that others may find fulfillment through other paths, and we need to respect that. And what brings spiritual fulfillment to an individual is not something that is prescribed elsewhere or by someone, but what one achieves by one's own quest. And therefore, if you want to find spiritual fulfillment, which is different from finding the nature of ultimate reality, then you would choose a path which probably is in your own tradition or which probably is partly in the Hindu tradition. The way I see it, the religious or the spiritual quest of the future is going to be radically different from what it has been in the past, because it will be a beautiful synthesis of the good that every great tradition has to offer. And I am very content with the Hindu tradition, having not only because I've grown up in it, but also because it gives me that opportunity to appreciate and respect and even absorb whatever is good in other traditions. To me, that is a fundamental question. You become a Hindu overnight, it's in my view, if you adopt this view of what may be called religious multiplicity or religious multiculturalism. So whether that is the ultimate reality, I cannot say, because ultimate reality is far more complex than finding spiritual fulfillment.
I would love to find spiritual fulfillment, but I don't want to fool myself. I don't want to find an artificial spiritual fulfillment in something that makes me feel good and feel wonderful and feel like I've attained something when it's a false something.
That is...
Am I too westernized in my thinking?
No, you are not too westernized, but I think you are, because I don't think everybody in the West even thinks of the ultimate reality. But I think we imagine reality in different modes here, because by more than reality, the word is truth, I think, because truth here is something that is an interpretation of whatever reality that is meaningful. And it is difficult to know, the fact that there are different people who undertake this quest and find satisfaction in different ways is a truth. I mean, it's a fact. And that it's on that fact that we are reflecting as to whether what they believe in is the ultimate truth or reality. We cannot say, be sure. Even the Hindu, the Vedas, there is an interesting line in the hymn of creation, which ends by saying, "Who really knows? Not even the gods may know how it all came to be." And when it comes to these fundamental questions, we should be more concerned with whether they are meaningful and relevant and helpful both to others and to ourselves, than to whether they really reflect ultimate reality or truth.